The oldest species in the galaxy had many names, but most called them the first ones. They were born when stars were young. They had seen galaxies rise and fall. They had watched thousands of intelligent races appear and disappear. Nothing surprised them anymore. Nothing except Earth. On the great star map inside their council chamber, every known world was marked in soft light. Blue for life, gold for advanced worlds, red for danger. Earth was different. Earth was black, not destroyed, not dead, just avoided. For millions of years, no ship from the first ones had gone near it. No probe stayed close. No station was built. Earth was listed under one simple rule: observe from a distance, never approach. The younger species of the galaxy did not understand this rule. To them, humans looked weak. Humans fought each other. Humans had not left their solar system yet. Their weapons were small. Their ships were slow. So why fear them? Inside the council chamber, the air felt heavy. Ancient beings of light and shadow floated in silence. At the center stood Archivist Delos, keeper of memories older than most stars. A young observer named Kael stepped forward. He was new, curious, and brave enough to ask questions no one liked. Honored ones. Kael said carefully, I have studied Earth. Humans are divided. Their world is fragile. Why is Earth marked forbidden? The chamber darkened. Some elders turned away. Others lowered their glow. Delos answered slowly, because Earth is not what it seems. Kael felt a chill even through his suit, but the records show no great weapons, no galactic fleets, no ancient structures. That, Delos said, is because the truth was erased. Long ago, before humans built cities, before they wrote history, the galaxy faced a great silence. Entire civilizations vanished overnight. Worlds burned. Stars went dark. The first ones fought, but their power meant nothing. Something hunted them. It did not conquer. It did not speak. It simply ended worlds. Then, suddenly it stopped. The trail ended near a small blue planet orbiting an average yellow star. Earth. The elders tried to remember more, but the memories were broken. Time itself seemed damaged around that moment. Records were missing. Witnesses were gone. All that remained was fear. Earth survived, Delos continued. Everything else did not. Kael looked again at the map. A small planet, full of storms, oceans, life. How? He asked. Delos did not answer. Days later, Kael made a choice that would change everything. He broke the oldest rule. From a hidden station far from Earth, Kael launched a single probe. Small, silent, advanced. It moved faster than light, slipping through space like a thought. As the probe approached Earth's system, its sensors began to fail. Gravity felt wrong. Signals bent and twisted. Background radiation formed strange patterns, almost like a heartbeat. This is impossible, Kael whispered. The probe entered orbit around Earth. At first, everything looked normal. Blue oceans, green lands, white clouds, humans going about their lives, cities glowing softly in the night. Then the probe scanned deeper. Below the planet's surface, far beneath the crust, it detected something vast. Not metal, not energy, not life as defined by science. It was old, older than the first ones, older than stars. And it was not sleeping. The probe system struggled to describe it. The thing beneath Earth did not move, yet it felt aware. It reacted to emotions above the surface. Fear, anger, hope, courage. When humans fought, it stirred. When humans suffered, it watched. When humans stood together, it grew quiet. Kael's hand shook as data poured in. They are living on top of it, he said. They don't even know. Suddenly, the probe detected something else. It was looking back. A human child stood in a field at night, staring at the stars. The probe zoomed in by chance. The child smiled. At that exact moment, the signal spiked. The ancient presence beneath Earth reacted, not with anger, with recognition. Alarm screamed. The probe systems overloaded. A message began to form, not in language, but in meaning. Kael felt it inside his mind as the transmission reached him. A warning, a truth. The final data packet reached the station before the probe was destroyed. Across the screen, one line appeared. Simple, clear, terrifying. They are awake. Kael stepped back in shock. Earth was not weak. Humans were not alone. And the galaxy had not been avoiding Earth to protect itself from humans. It had been avoiding Earth because of what humans were keeping asleep. Far away, the first ones felt the signal and knew the oldest fear had returned. Earth had been noticed, and nothing in the galaxy was ready for what came next. The signal from Earth spread through the ancient networks of the first ones like a silent scream. For the first time in millions of years, the forbidden world had spoken back. Inside the great council chamber, light dimmed. The elders gathered in urgency. This was not fear like before. This was memory. Archivist Delos stood alone at the center. His form flickered, unstable. Old seals inside his mind were breaking. "It has begun," he said quietly. The younger members did not understand. To them, Earth was still just a young world with a young species. But to the elders, the signal had unlocked something long buried. A war, not written in any record, not sung in any song. A war so terrible that even the first ones chose to forget it. Delos raised his hand, and the chamber filled with images. Stars burning, planets cracking open, civilizations erased in seconds. This, he said, was a time before fear had a name. The enemy did not arrive in ships. It did not declare war. It appeared inside reality itself, breaking the laws of space and time. Worlds did not fall slowly. They simply stopped existing. The strongest races fought back. They used weapons that could bend stars and tear holes in space. Nothing worked. The enemy learned. It adapted. It fed on resistance. Then something unexpected happened. One world did not fall. Earth. At that time, Earth had no cities, no technology. Humans were still learning how to survive. They were small, fragile, and unaware. Yet the enemy stopped there. The image shifted. Delos showed the Council of Memories so old it hurt to watch. The enemy reached Earth and paused, not in confusion, in caution. It recognized something, Delos said, something already there. The elders remembered now. Earth was not a target. Earth was a container. Long before humans existed, the first ones and their allies made a desperate choice. They could not destroy the enemy, but they could bind it. They found a place where reality was stable enough, a planet strong enough, a world that could heal itself. Earth. They sealed the enemy deep inside the planet, wrapped in layers of space, time, and matter. But the seal needed balance. Something unpredictable. Something alive. Life evolved. Humans evolved. Not by design. Not by command. But by chance. And chance was the one thing the enemy could not control. The seal is linked to them, Delos said. To their emotions. Their struggles. Their will to survive. Fear weakened it. Hope strengthened it. Unity calmed it. That was why Earth was marked forbidden. Not because humans were dangerous, but because harming Earth could release something far worse. Across the chamber, Kael listened in silence. His curiosity was gone. In its place was understanding and guilt. "My probe," he said. "Did I wake it?" Delos looked at him. "No. Humanity is changing. They are reaching outward. Their awareness is growing." The seal responds. A screen appeared, showing Earth again. Human cities. Wars. Love. Fear. Courage. The enemy beneath the planet stirred, not to escape, but to listen. The worst part, Delos said, is that the enemy is not alone anymore. Another signal appeared. Deep space. Far beyond known systems. Something ancient had noticed the awakening. A survivor. An echo of the old enemy, returning to finish what was started. Panic spread among the younger council members. "Then we must destroy Earth," one cried, "before it is too late." Silence fell. The elders turned as one. To destroy Earth, Delos said slowly, would be to open the seal completely. The images changed again. A future vision. The enemy free. The galaxy burning. No place left to hide. Earth was not the danger. Earth was the lock, and humans were the key holding it closed. Suddenly, alarms rang through the chamber. A new transmission had arrived. This one was not ancient, not alien. It was human, a simple radio signal, leaking into space by accident. Music, voices, laughter. The council listened in shock. Such a young species, so unaware, yet so powerful in ways they did not understand. Kael spoke softly. They don't know what they are carrying. No, Delos replied, but they are carrying it well. The elders made a decision that day. They would no longer just watch Earth. They would protect it, because if Earth fell, the galaxy would fall with it. Far away, beneath Earth's surface, the ancient presence shifted again, not toward freedom, toward readiness. And somewhere in the dark between stars, something old began to move, remembering the taste of worlds. The galaxy moved into quiet motion. No alarms, no announcements, only watchers. The first ones placed hidden guardians around Earth's system. They used ships that bent light and stations that hid inside space itself. Younger species were worn away with false danger signs and broken maps. Earth had to remain untouched. On the planet below, humans lived their lives unaware. They worked, argued, laughed, and dreamed. They fought wars and helped strangers. They built machines and told stories. They did not know that something ancient was listening. Deep beneath Earth's crust, far below oceans and stone, the sealed presence stirred again. Not in anger, not in hunger, in awareness. It felt humanity the way a planet feels pressure, not as individuals, but as a whole. Every emotion sent ripples through the seal. Fear caused tension. Anger caused movement. Hope brought balance. Sacrifice brought calm. The first one studied this carefully. This was never part of the plan, one elder said. There was no plan, Archivist Delos replied. Only survival. Kael stood beside him, watching Earth's data streams. If humans are the balance, he said, what happens when they change too much? Delos did not answer. On Earth, change was happening faster than ever before. Human technology advanced quickly. Their signals grew stronger. Their machines reached farther into space. Satellites surrounded the planet like a thin metal shell. And with every step forward, the presence beneath Earth reacted. It did not resist progress. It adapted to it. In one city, a massive storm struck without warning. Humans rushed to help each other. Strangers carried strangers, risked their lives, chose others over themselves. Deep below, the ancient presence grew still. In another place, hatred spread, violence followed. Fear ruled. The presence shifted uneasily. The first ones began to understand something terrifying. The seal was not weakening. It was learning humanity. It is shaping itself to them, Kael said softly. Yes, Delos replied, and they are shaping it. This was why Earth had survived, not because humans were powerful, but because they were unpredictable. They could choose kindness or cruelty, destruction or protection. The ancient enemy had never understood choice. That was its weakness. One night, far from cities, a human astronomer stood alone beside a telescope. She searched the sky, hoping to find something, anything, that proved humanity was not alone. For a brief moment, she felt watched, not threatened, acknowledged. Her instrument spiked with strange readings, then returned to normal. She would later dismiss it as error, but the data would stay in her records. Another ripple. The first one saw it all. The presence is waking more often, one elder warned. Soon it will no longer sleep at all. And if it wakes fully? Kael asked. Delos answered carefully. Then it will remember why it was sealed. Far beyond Earth's system, something else moved. The echo of the old enemy drifted through dark space, following the signals humanity unknowingly sent. Radio waves, light, proof of life. Unlike the sealed presence, this echo was hungry. It remembered Earth. It remembered defeat. And it wanted the lock broken. The first ones detected the movement too late. It is coming, Kael said, slowly but directly. The council gathered again. Fear returned, sharper than before. We cannot fight it, one elder said. Not again. We cannot destroy Earth, said another. That would free the sealed one. Silence filled the chamber. The Low spoke the truth none wanted to hear. Then the only option left is humanity. The room reacted with shock. They are not ready, someone argued. They don't even know. They don't need to know everything, the Low said. Only enough. Kael looked at Earth on the map. A small blue world, carrying the weight of the galaxy without knowing it. How do we tell them? He asked. We don't, Delos replied. We let them discover it themselves. On Earth, strange dreams began to spread. People dreamed of deep oceans and endless dark, of something vast, patient, and watching. Not evil, not good, waiting. Artists painted shapes they could not explain. Writers wrote stories that felt too real. Scientists questioned old laws of physics. Humanity was brushing against the truth, and the truth was brushing back. Beneath Earth's surface, the sealed presence shifted again. This time, it reached outward, not to escape, but to connect. It felt the approaching echo in deep space. It remembered the war, and for the first time since it was sealed, it made a choice. It would not run. It would not hide. If the enemy came again, Earth would not face it alone. The lock was learning to become a shield, and the key, humanity, was beginning to turn, far above the planet. Hidden from human eyes, the first ones watched in silence. The age of observation was ending. The age of involvement was about to begin. The Council of the First Ones had not gathered like this since the ancient war. Every elder was present, every memory awake. The image of Earth floated at the center of the chamber. Beautiful, fragile, dangerous in ways no weapon could measure. The echo is approaching faster, one watcher reported. It has adapted to our hidden paths. Fear moved through the chamber like a cold wave. Archivist Low spoke with calm, but his light flickered. Then time is no longer our ally. A younger elder stepped forward. We should still consider ending it. Destroy Earth. End the risk. The room went silent. Delos turned slowly and released the sealed presence fully. You saw the visions. That would not save the galaxy. It would erase it. Another voice joined in. Then we do nothing and wait? No, Delos said. We prepare humanity. The words fell heavy. Kael looked up in shock. Prepare them how? They barely understand their own world. They understand choice, Delos replied. And that is enough. The first ones had never guided a species so directly. They had observed, recorded, and stepped away. But Earth was different. Earth was not just another world. It was a lock. Hidden beacons were activated around the solar system. Not weapons. Signals. Whispers placed inside cosmic noise. Gentle pushes toward discovery. On Earth, scientists began to notice patterns they could not explain. Background radiation formed shapes that repeated. Gravity behaved strangely in certain regions. At first, they argued. Then they listened. A group of human researchers shared data across borders. Old rivalries faded in the face of mystery. For once, humanity looked upward together. Deep below, the sealed presence responded, not with fear, with alignment. It adjusted its balance to humanity's growing awareness. The bond strengthened, becoming smoother, more stable. This is dangerous, one elder warned. If they learn too fast, they will break, Delos finished. Yes, that is why we move slowly. But the echo in deep space did not move slowly. It crossed dead systems and broken stars. Everywhere it passed, reality felt thin. Ancient scars reopened. It was not alone now. Fragments of the old enemy followed it, drawn by memory. Earth's location burned bright in their awareness. Back on the planet, the dreams grew stronger. Some humans dreamed of standing between light and dark. Others dreamed of holding the planet itself together. A few woke up crying, unable to explain why. One child drew a picture of the Earth wrapped in light, with shadows pressing from the outside. His parents placed it on the fridge, unaware of its meaning. Kael watched all of this from the shadows of space. They are changing, he said. Yes, Delos replied. They always have. The Council received a final report. The Echo would reach Earth's system soon. There would be no hiding, no avoidance. The first ones faced a truth they had feared since the war. If Earth fell, everything fell. If Earth stood, the galaxy might survive. A decision was made. For the first time in their history, the first ones sent a direct message. Not to governments, not to armies, to humanity as a whole. The message was simple. Not words, not images, a feeling. Across Earth, people paused. In cities and villages, in quiet rooms. For one brief moment, billions felt the same thing. They were not alone. They were important. They mattered. Fear followed. Then curiosity. Then resolve. Beneath the planet, the sealed presence stirred one last time before the coming storm. It reached outward, touching the Echo's path. The Echo responded. Space trembled. The war that ended ages ago was no longer a memory. It was returning. And this time, the battlefield would be Earth. High above the planet, hidden ships took position. The first ones did not know if they were preparing for defense or witnessing the end. Kael stared at the blue world below. So small, he whispered. So brave. Delos answered softly. They do not know fear the way we do. That may be why they will succeed. In the dark between stars, the Echo moved faster. The lock was no longer sleeping. The key was awake, and the galaxy held its breath. Earth was quiet on the surface, but beneath it, the ancient presence pulsed with life. It was no longer simply observing. It was preparing. The first ones monitored the subtle changes. Humans were beginning to act differently. They reached out to each other, building connections, forming alliances, and making choices that seemed small but carried incredible weight. Kael watched the data streaming from Earth. They are not even aware of what they're doing, he said. And yet, they are shaping the seal itself. Delos nodded. Humans have a quality no other species possesses fully. Unpredictability combined with hope. The sealed presence feeds on it. It grows stronger with every act of courage, every choice to protect, every sacrifice. On Earth, people struggle with their daily lives. Wars, poverty, natural disasters, personal failures. But they endured. Each challenge left a ripple across the planet. A subtle vibration the presence below could sense. It was learning humanity. It was growing with humanity. In the outer edges of space, the echo of the ancient enemy moved closer. Its hunger was clear. It had remembered Earth. It had remembered the seal. It had remembered the one species that had unknowingly imprisoned it. The first ones realized in what Kael had feared. Humans were not ready for this confrontation. Yet, they were humanity's only hope. If humans failed, the galaxy would fall. If humans survived, the galaxy could stand. Beneath Earth, the presence sensed the echo approaching. It pulsed in readiness. For millions of years, it had waited in silence, bound by ancient laws. But now humanity was awake. The seal was alive. And when the echo finally arrived at the outskirts of the solar system, it sensed the strength of humans without even seeing them. A human child, playing a remote field, laughed at the sky. The presence felt it. The echo recoiled slightly. It did not understand. The humans were the lock, but the humans were more than the lock. They were guardians. The first ones recorded this carefully. In all their eons of observation, they had never witnessed a species capable of holding such a cosmic responsibility without knowledge of it. And so the stage was set. The echo was closing in. Its approach was silent but unstoppable. The ancient enemy remembered the fear it had once felt. Yet Earth was not weak. Humans, unaware of the battle unfolding around them, were standing firm. With each act of courage, with each choice made for the greater good, they strengthened the seal below. Kael spoke softly to Delos, watching the human from orbit. They are not alone, are they? No, Delos replied. They never were. They were never meant to be alone. The galaxy has hidden behind them for millennia, and now it relies on them. Deep within Earth, the presence pulsed, sending out waves of energy that harmonized with human emotion. The echo of the enemy hesitated. It had never faced a lock that was also a living, breathing shield. The final battle was coming. The ancient enemy had returned, but would not find Earth unprepared. Humanity stood between the galaxy and annihilation, unaware of the weight on their shoulders. And somewhere deep in space, Kael whispered, "They will not fail. They cannot fail. Not if they remain human." The seal pulsed brighter, resonating with hope. The key had awoken. The lock was ready. And the enemy was about to learn that humans were never truly alone. The echo of the ancient enemy had reached the edge of the solar system. It moved like a shadow through the void, patient, silent, and hungry. Every system it passed felt the disturbance. Planets trembled. Stars flickered. The first ones watched from afar, their forms tense, knowing that if Earth fell, nothing would remain to stop it. Yet on Earth, life continued as if nothing had changed. Cities thrived. People laughed. Children played. And humans dreamed. They were unaware that their very existence was the shield holding the galaxy together. Deep below the surface, the seal presence pulsed faster. It stretched toward the approaching echo, preparing for the inevitable confrontation. Unlike before, it was no longer passive. It had learned from humanity. It had adapted to their emotions, their choices, their courage. Kael floated silently above the planet, monitoring the data. "It's different this time," he whispered to the Los. "It's not trying to escape. It's preparing. For them." Thalos' light dimmed slightly. "Yes, the presence has never been more aligned with humans. They are no longer just a lock. They are the galaxy's shield." As the echo entered the inner system, instruments across Earth began detecting anomalies. Satellites malfunctioned. Gravitational fields fluctuated. Strange auroras appeared in the skies, visible even in cities. Humans watched in awe and fear, unaware that these signs were a call to courage, not destruction. Then it happened. The first wave of the echo's energy reached Earth. It struck the planet like invisible lightning, testing the seal, probing for weakness. The ground shook. Oceans surged. Volcanoes trembled. Humanity responded, not with panic, but with unity. Rescue teams saved strangers. Communities protected each other. Strangers shared knowledge, food, and strength. Courage became a shield. Fear, a minor tremor, quickly overcome. Deep below, the presence responded. Its ancient energy flared, radiating outward. It was no longer hidden. It was a force, alive, and aligned with humanity. It twisted the approaching threat, bending its energy back upon itself, halting its advance. Kael watched in disbelief. "It's working. Humanity, it's holding it back." The Los nodded. "They do not know what they're doing, but that is the point. Humanity's strength is not in power. It is in choice, in hope, in the will to endure." The echo faltered. It had never encountered a species capable of turning passive observation into active resistance. Every act of courage, every act of unity, amplified the sealed presence. It became a shield, a wall of living energy around Earth, impossible to breach without breaking the planet itself. In space, the first ones realized the truth they had long feared. Earth was no longer merely a planet. It had become the strongest fortress in the galaxy. The humans who lived there, fragile and unaware, were the guardians of all life beyond their world. The echo, sensing failure, recoiled. It had underestimated humans. It had underestimated the living presence beneath the planet and the unpredictable courage of those who dwelled above. Kael turned to the Los. "They're learning faster than I thought. They are becoming something more." Thalos' glow brightened. "Yes, the galaxy hides behind Earth now, not because it is weak, but because it is strong in ways no weapon can measure." On the surface, humans continued their lives. They looked up at the skies, unaware that their actions, their hope, bravery, and unity, were shaping the future of every star in the galaxy. The seal pulsed brighter. The echo retreated, reconsidering its approach. It had faced civilizations that wielded fleets and weapons, but none like this. None capable of defending a galaxy without even knowing it. Kael whispered to himself, "They are not weapons. They are guardians." And the first ones, watching in silence, realized that the galaxy's last line of defense had always been human. The echo of the ancient enemy had withdrawn for now, but it left a clear message. It would return. faster, stronger, smarter. The galaxy held its breath. In the council chamber of the first ones, Archivistalos and Kael watched Earth on the star map. No words were needed. They knew the truth that no one else could see. Earth had never been avoided because of humans' weakness. It had been avoided because of its secret. Long before humans existed, before stars burned bright, the first ones had created a plan. They could not destroy the ancient enemy. It was too powerful, too adaptive, but they could contain it. They had chosen a vessel, a lock, a shield, a planet, Earth. Humans were the key, not by design, but by evolution. Their choices, emotions, and willpower interacted with the sealed presence beneath the planet. Every act of courage, every act of unity, every spark of hope strengthened the seal. The first ones had watched over millennia, ensuring the planet survived, guiding its species subtly, never interfering directly. Humanity grew unaware of the role they played, yet they were perfect for the task. Imperfect, unpredictable, resilient. Kael spoke softly, awe in his voice. They've carried this burden unknowingly all this time. Yes, Delos replied. They have always been the galaxy's guardians. And now, they are ready to face what comes. Deep beneath Earth, the presence pulsed with energy. It was no longer merely a seal. It had become a living force, aligned with humanity, protective and adaptive. The echo of the ancient enemy had realized it too late. This was not a world to conquer. This was a world that defended itself through its inhabitants. The first ones, who had survived eons and witnessed countless empires rise and fall, bowed in respect, not to humans, but to what humanity represented: resilience, courage, and hope. On Earth, humans did not know the cosmic significance of their actions. They argued, loved, fought, and dreamed as they always had. Yet every act shaped the defense of the galaxy itself. Every choice reinforced the seal. Kael looked down at the blue planet and whispered, they never needed to know the full story, because their humanity is a story. The echo of the enemy would return, and it would test Earth again. But now, humanity was no longer just a key. It was the shield, the lock, and the hope of the stars. The galaxy had hidden behind Earth for millennia. It had relied on the unpredictability, courage, and resilience of humans to survive. And the oldest species in the galaxy, who had feared the planet for countless ages, now understood the truth. Fear had never been about what humans could destroy. Fear had always been about what humans could protect. Delos spoke for the last time to Kael, his voice carrying the weight of eons. In all the galaxy, only humans could carry this darkness and turn it into light. The stars beyond twinkled silently, as if acknowledging the guardianship of a small blue world. And somewhere on Earth, a child looked up at the night sky and smiled, unaware that in their hands, unknowingly, rested the fate of all civilizations.